So in today's video, we're going to break down and I'm going to answer the million-dollar question that I get asked about all the time. When does this get easier? When does ignoring the 3D and manifesting our desires get easier? When does this practice stop feeling so much like a struggle and more like the effortless and naturalness that we hear so much about? You may be watching this right now and feeling a lot of frustration, a lot of emotions, perhaps wondering if it's time to give up on this already. I want to help give you some words of encouragement and really break a few things down so you have a better understanding of this practice and the ebbs and flow that follow. So if you are somebody that has been having difficulties when it comes to the implementation of these teachings, if you are somebody who is feeling very frustrated at the moment, wondering when the hell this starts to get easier, then definitely stick around because this video is especially for you. And admittedly, it is a bit difficult to give a specific answer to this question because in truth, everybody is going to be different. Some people are naturally going to have easier time applying these than others. And that's just dependent on a lot of different things. It's dependent on our current beliefs and assumptions, our current circumstances, our faith in the law and in ourself as the operant power. But what I can definitely say is this. Manifestation gets easier in the same way that anything gets easier, and that is with practice. And specifically, practice in not entertaining the old story. Practice with deliberately putting your attention and your focus on what you want to be experiencing, what you desire to experience, instead of the things that we don't want. Basically, that means we practice moving ourselves into a good and desirable mental state, and we stay there by consistently and deliberately moving back to that state if we fall out of it. There is no other way around this, and I know that it may not be the answer that many people want to hear, but without that mental shift, we cannot expect a change, because ultimately this is all coming down to a change within you, a change within your beliefs, a change within your assumption, a change in how you think, your thinking patterns. And yes, at times, this is going to feel much easier said than done. This is where the persistence aspect comes into all of this. We have to remember that we have been conditioned our entire lives to outside circumstances affecting your inner peace. So when you see something bad and you see something that is not ideal, your mind is going to start bucking like a wild animal. Our job is to catch this when it happens and do our best to alleviate those crazy thoughts. And we may not be successful with disrupting the autopilot right away. We don't need to suppress our thoughts. We do not need to try to fight and struggle against our thoughts or our reactions, but instead just observe them, sit with them if we have to, let ourselves cry, let ourselves feel frustrated if that is what we need in this moment. And then as soon as we are able to, as soon as we remember to do so, redirecting our attention back to the state we desire to experience. An analogy that I like to use is similar to when we learn how to drive a car. At first, when we first start learning how to drive, we are very white-knuckled, we are very conscious and deliberate of everything that we're doing and keeping our attention on all the things that we must do to drive safely. But with practice, as we continue the repetition of it, in no time, it starts to just be second nature. Before you know it, you're driving your car, you're talking on your phone, over the Bluetooth, hopefully. You're checked out, so to speak, and you're just running on pure muscle memory. This is not very much different from that, from learning any new skill. It is consciously and deliberately directing your focus back to the mental state that you desire to occupy. In this process, we are unlearning and reconditioning sometimes decades of automatic thinking. So it can help to accept the fact that at times this may feel very uncomfortable. Our human ego is very resistant to the idea of change and would much rather prefer that we stick to the same automatic habits. The key here is to not give in to that temptation or give in to the automatic old habits. Because in every moment, we have two choices: to occupy that desired outcome, that desired state, or we can continue to just go back to our old thought patterns, our old habits, and if we choose the latter, we're never going to see a change. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So like anything in this entire world, a lot of this comes down to persistence and practice. Manifestation and ignoring the 3D gets easier as we build our faith in ourself as the operant power. Coming into these teachings, we are likely to have very little to no faith in this because, let's be honest, these go against the grain of everything that we have been taught and conditioned to believe up until this point. Learning to go from being at the mercy of your external circumstances to taking that power back can feel incredibly daunting. It's easy to get crippled with doubt, so much so that we find it a challenge to even allow ourselves to imagine that wish fulfilled, to even go to the end. Because what if it doesn't work? What if nothing happens? What if I'm just wasting my time with all of this? What if I just wind up disappointed anyways? All of this fear and the subsequent thoughts that follow this stem from our little to no faith in either the law or ourself as the operant power. Thankfully, something that naturally happens to you on this journey as you continue to be observant of your inner world, of the thoughts that you have in your day-to-day, and your reactions and your moods, all of the things that you internalize. As you become more aware of it and conscious of it, you're going to naturally start to see the patterns between our inner state and our outer world. So long as we continue to be observant and aware in our day-to-day, you're going to see more and more proof of the law that is already working for you. Because what we have to remember here is that this is always working. We are always manifesting. This is not something that we start and stop. This is not something that we're just doing when we're applying techniques. This is something that we are doing 24/7, whether we are conscious of it or not. And through an increase of our awareness, as we continue to carefully watch ourselves and what we are doing and what we are deliberate with and what we are focused on, we will see that those are the things that become outpictured for us. The objective of this entire practice is to get ourselves to a place that when we set an intention, when we leave that subconscious impression, we have complete trust that it must come to pass, despite any evidence of the 3D, which is arguably one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging aspects to all of this. We are constantly looking and needing that validation from the 3D, but that is not how this works. Instead, we want to continue into this practice until we become more and more confident in ourselves naturally. Looking for evidence and searching your 3D for proof indicates an underlying lack of trust in this law and in yourself. There's no two ways around it, and we cannot fool ourselves. So one thing that we have to remember always, as we may be wavering in our day-to-day, as our faith may be shaky, we have to reassure ourselves that it must work out in our favor, because that is explicitly this law. As within, so without. So if I deliberately keep my attention on the things that I desire, that must be outpictured. And as we continue on this journey, we're going to naturally develop the faith that that is true. The faith that moves mountains is the faith that you have in yourself. Trust that the higher self that dwells within you, your I am, has all the means and ways of self-expression. It is not your job to do anything, but trust that to be so. When you come to understand this, and as you naturally build your faith in this, the byproduct is that this becomes easier and easier to accept, and things will begin to flow from that. Lastly, and most importantly, this becomes easier when we stop trying so damn hard. It gets easier when we stop trying so hard to force a feeling. This gets easier when we stop trying to be positive all the time and fight with our own mind, or when we try to force a bunch of techniques when we don't feel very good, when we are feeling rather bad. This is a subject that I bring up all the time, and that is very, very deliberate, because almost by reflex, almost automatic response is for us to try to jump in and make something happen, to will it into being. But this is not how this works. And the unfortunate truth is that for many people, when we find these teachings, we are coming from a state that is less than ideal to begin with. We may be feeling very desperate for a change, and that urgency only compounds the pressure that we place on ourselves to make this right and make it perfect. A really sneaky thing that a lot of us fall prey to, we wait until we get triggered by something, or when we're noticing that we're feeling really anxious, we then try to frantically affirm or use a bunch of techniques to try to force a feeling of happiness or feeling loved or whatever it is that we desire to experience. But when we are already in that anxious state, when we are already feeling very frustrated or sad or angry or whatever the feeling may be, if it is a negative one, we're going to find it incredibly difficult to try to force ourselves into a good state through sheer willpower. But this is almost like a reflex of ours and something that we often do, sometimes unconsciously. So instead of taking this approach and trying to shove ourselves into a desirable state, is to instead just focus on trying to feel good, or at the very least feel better right now. Not try to imagine something to feel better someday in the future, but things that you can do to help yourself right now. Help bring yourself down into a more relaxed state, or at least a more neutral state first. Ultimately, if we are feeling very stressed and not in an ideal state, we have to put the practice of self-care into place first. As I say all the time, we have to prioritize our own mental well-being. We have to prioritize ourself above all else. We can only do that by aiming to help alleviate the stress or anxiousness that we're feeling in this present moment. Because once we get more calm, once we feel more centered, stable, or even just neutral, from that state, we can then much easier and effortlessly imagine something more desirable instead. So first, try to focus on doing whatever you need to do for you to help calm yourself. If you do not have ways in which to help calm any anxious thoughts, to help yourself to feel better, then have that be your focus first. You can try things such as deep breathing exercises, nice, slow, deep breaths from the diaphragm to help bring you down from that state of anxiousness. Try meditation, or even something such as playing your favorite music, getting up and dancing around your house, move your body, yoga, creating a playlist of your favorite music or your favorite videos that will help uplift your spirits, things that motivate you, or things that you just find entertaining that can just help you get your mind off whatever may be consuming right now. Going for a walk, going out in nature, getting some fresh air, whatever this is and whatever this looks like for you, have some things that you can turn to and use in moments where you are feeling especially stressed, tense, if you feel reactive, if you feel triggered, because we want to first and foremost get ourselves back into a state that is more relaxed and calm, and then go to the end, and then imagine what we desire to experience. A lot of times we unknowingly skip this step, and that is why we become inundated with these intrusive and fearful thoughts. Then it becomes no longer about living in the end, but instead trying to escape those intrusive thoughts. Take the pressure off of yourself first. Focus on getting into a state that is more calm and more centered first. Once you feel more calm or even neutral, that is when you direct your attention to that feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it will be so much easier to do so from that more calm or neutral state. And as I mentioned earlier, this is going to feel and sometimes come more easily and effortless for some than for others, based on a variety of factors. But for many people, myself included, this certainly did not start as the easiest feat. At the end of the day, success comes when we are just no longer accepting going back to that old state. We have to be completely done with it. We have to be stubbornly insistent that we are not going to just fall back into the old patterns and old ways of being, and we commit to that promise. Because ultimately, those are the two choices that we have. We either decide to change what we are feeling and what we are entertaining and what we ruminate on, or we just fall back into the autopilot of the same old, and nothing changes. Neville would say that imagination travels according to habit. especially when we are new at this, we're going to find ourselves a bit at the mercy of our old thinking patterns and often find ourselves falling back into that old state more times than we would ideally like. This is normal. This is not something that means that you're doing it wrong or that you're failing at this or anything of that sort. And before we part ways, I do want to share a quote from Neville Goddard, one of my favorite quotes of his from his Fundamentals lecture, where he talks about detachment and some of the difficulties that we may experience along the way. The purpose of practicing detachment is to separate us from our present reactions to life and attach us to our aim in life. This inner separation must be developed by practice. At first, we seem to have no power to separate ourselves from undesirable inner states, simply because we have always taken every mood, every reaction as natural and have become identified with them. When we have no idea that our reactions are only states of consciousness from which it is possible to separate ourselves, we go round and round in the same circle of problems, not seeing them as inner states, but as outer situations. We practice detachment or inner separation that we may escape from the circle of our habitual reactions to life. That is why we must formulate an aim and consistently notice ourselves in regard to that aim. We practice detachment that we may escape the circle of our habitual reactions to life. And this is ultimately something that we really want to keep in mind because at first, our habits feel insurmountable. Our old reactions and old patterns may feel so strong within us, like they can never be broken. But that is fundamentally not true. Any belief, any habit, any pattern can be broken. You can disrupt that autopilot. You can break out of that habit, of that old story and that old narrative. And that is the entire objective here. No matter what it is that we want to see and experience on the outside, first and foremost, this is about cultivating the inner state that aligns with that change we want to see. And as we do this, as we continue to focus our attention on what we would rather be experiencing, what we would rather be feeling, and continue to dwell there as often as needed, remembering the brazen impudence, or simply that we do not take no for an answer. And as we do this, just like learning anything new, the more that we continue to perpetuate that and intentionally and deliberately go back to that state that we would want to have and want to feel, that is how this gets easier and easier. And that is ultimately how you will manifest anything you desire. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope this gave some encouragement. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in checking out any of my other resources, I have links below to my coaching programs, my workshops, my masterclasses, my blog, my podcast, my social links. Got a ton of great resources down in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. Also, be sure to check out the other videos on my channel. Be sure to check out my Manifestation Fundamentals playlist. Each video is a different topic, but it all talks about how to manifest the best life ever. So until we meet again, as always, please take care, be well, and never forget to commit to your new state of being over and over if needed. Never forget how powerful you truly are. Happy manifesting, guys.